Cancer. I am here to do your reading for Aries season. And this reading can be used for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus placements. And it may be also applied to your Vedic sign. If you were born between June 17th and June 23rd, you are a Gemini Cancer cusp. So you can check out the Gemini reading that's posted before this one. If you were born between the dates of July 19th and July 23rd, you can check out the Leo video because you're a Cancer Leo cusp, and that will be posted next. And not unlike Gemini, I had a little bit of difficulty, I guess you could say, tapping into your energy. I'm not really sure what else going on, but I mean, I kind of have an idea, but I'm not exactly sure. So let's just get into reading your cards and see what happens. Yes. The Tower and the Sun. Well, you have the Two of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So that could be a love offer. Show these cards to you real quick. The Two of Cups, Seven of Wands, the Five of Cups. That is typically regret. The Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man in reverse. In reverse. I don't think this card has come out yet. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. See, the moon is in Sagittarius right now. Neptune and Mercury are in Pisces. Venus is in Taurus. Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto, and Mars are in Capricorn, and Chiron is in Aries. Ooh. You got a lot of different stuff going on here, Cancer. A lot. It's deep. It's typical for crab. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Now I'm going to get some more cards. But it looks like there may be... It's offering. Somebody's struggling with a decision to offer you something. It's like they're weighing out their options. And I think what's sticking out to me the most is this Two of Cups card with this moon. Now the moon is the ruler of your sign. And this could be... Okay, I'm seeing two things here with the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Well, maybe three different things here, because this is a collective reading, so there can be different scenarios going here. But I see some regret here. I don't know, you could be dealing with a Leo. Sun, Moon, or Rising. But yeah, obviously there was some sort of blow up with the Tower card here. And then there was a struggle, but someone is regretting it. And they're really heavy in their emotions thinking about stuff. And then there's like, I don't know, it's like they started to come out of it, and then right back into it. Slowly coming around. Somebody's really sad. Now this could be you. You know, take it how it fits. It could be you or the other person. But they're weighing out their options. Something it could have to do with money. But we'll see. Let me get some more cards here. I just shuffled all these cards really, really well before I came in here. Really well. I sat here for quite a while. Shuffled. I was trying to wait for everything to get quiet, but there are a lot of things are kind of chaotic right now. People were out shopping and whatnot. The way things are. The Death card again. Okay, well this is actually good. Because, I mean, death isn't always a bad thing, unless it could mean a literal death. And now sometimes when I see the Knight of Pentacles with the Death cards and this card here and the Tower card, it can be a death. So yeah, somebody could be passing away or have passed away recently. It's interesting that on this day that, and I don't know if I'll get this video uploaded today, so it's Monday. There's a Tower again in reverse. And the Tower can represent the home. What I was getting at is it's interesting that, you know, it actually fell on Cancer, and it's the sign that represents the home. It's the Moon card, the home, the mother. You know, obviously I don't like pointing out the obvious here, but there's going to be a loss, or has been in your recent past. Somebody's going to pass away. Someone that you love very much. And I'm not seeing this card as regrets at all. And I'm seeing the Seven of Wands here now as you blocking, going through a stage where you're just blocking people out. And at one point, and it's like you come around in these cycles, just like the moon, you know, like you come out, you come out of the deep water, and you get over it, and then it slows back. It's like a cycle that you go through, and it seems like every time you get out of it, the universe just throws you back into it. When that kind of stuff happens, there's usually a reason for it. I'm not getting so much of a lesson right now either. It's not a lesson, it's a purpose. It's a deepening of like a soul purpose. I'm seeing this kind of ghostly figure here in the middle. I don't know if you can see it with the light on it. Like your soul. Right, and with all these, the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles again, it's like this divine purpose you have. And it's you're going back, and it's back and forth. You emerge out of like this deep water, just like a crab would, right? And you make a slow progress, and then you're back in it again. It's like another cycle. I'm getting here, a lot of times with this Judgment card, I'm getting like two things out of it. So whatever happened, it's family. Definitely family. The issue that happened could have been a significant other, but I'm really getting family here because it's just this. If you're a Cancer, it could have been your mom or a mother and child. There's always this thing with Cancerians in the mother energy and the child energy, and it's coming up really strong, especially with this love, because the Two of Cups doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. And it's almost like you cycle with the moon, you know what I mean? Or, you know, okay, another trip around the sun. You know, here we go again. And it's like almost like a fall from grace here. But anyway, with this Red Cross on here, I get helping. And I'm getting healing. And I'll tell you why I don't think it's a lesson. Okay, because like Capricorn, Mars energy and all that kind of stuff, and Capricorn Jupiter's and Capricorn Saturn's and Capricorn Pluto's and Capricorn, well, that's like your opposite aspect, right? So the teacher and everybody over there, it's not in your sign right now for that to be going on, really. Some people say like the aspects cause the kind of like the same energy, but that's just not the way the universe works, right? There's like a magnetic pull. There's positives and negatives. I mean, it's right in the atom. It's in the basic molecule, right down to our carbon DNA. There's negatives and positives. So whatever's on the other end, the opposite is happening. So now you have space. There's nothing in your sign. Nothing. Right? So all you have ruling you right now is the moon. So anything that you're holding in or that you're withholding is going to be revealed. You see? Right there, the messenger of the earth. It's you. And the Empress. And it doesn't have to be male or female. And this Magician card here, it's like you're an alchemist, or you're doing something, you're creating something, art, music, or using whatever this was to heal. If you've seen some of my other readings, sometimes I get, she kind of looks corpsey to me. But I think this death and rebirth here is just a metaphorical. It's all metaphorical. It's you balancing your emotions, coming out of the deep water, and this cycle that you're going through. And I know it felt terrible, and it feels terrible, and it's painful. Like, sometimes you felt like you couldn't even live through it. It was that bad in the beginning. Horribly painful. And the Justice. Another angel with the full moon behind her illuminated. You changed a lot through this. I mean, you may just look at yourself now like you're not even the same person you were before this happened. Not at all. I'm gonna, once I get the rest of these cards out, I'll look a little deeper in here. I'm sure not everyone is going through so the Temptation card is typically the Devil card in the normal deck. But there's someone laying here very sad, crying. I'm getting just, it's a piece of your heart. It's the heart out of the fruit. It's a very, very close family thing here. And the thing is that your home is, like, your home, you guard it and you protect it with your life. You're Cancer, so your home means everything to you. That's why you're really good hosts or hostesses. You try to make sure everybody feels, completely comfortable when they're at your house, Well, you got 2 extra cards that wanted to come out too with the moon. The Queen of Air and the 2 of Air. So the Queen of Swords is someone who, she communicates. I mean, she's, with her and this magician here, I'm just really getting this, very spiritual evolution. And here you are, the moon, right? It was the bottom of the deck, so this is definitely your reading. I wish I could have been a little happier. Okay, well, the hawk and the owl. It's kind of giving me this kind of Native American vibe. Like what kind of healing and stuff you do. It's a holistic type of thing that you're going through, or a very natural, song or dance, something that is fueled by energy. This peacock, it's like eyes, like crown chakra, the dragon eye. There is, well, this elephant has a bindi in the middle of his head, so you all know elephants are sort of intuition. The mouse. The mouse here is, to me, is representing fear. No. What could have been for some? This is, okay, this is only going to be for very few of you. There's messages, right? I could say signs, but you know how you can see little lights or something floating around sometimes, little beams of light, but there's some kind of like, there's a spiritual energy around you. Some of you really are healers. And you see these things, or you think you do, or you do. I can't say whether or not you do. I can speak for myself and say that there was a long period of time where I didn't believe in anything like that, but then I've had weird synchronicities that just seem like coincidences, but then they couldn't have been. But you don't really want to talk to people about that, right? Because then they're going to be like, oh, you're crazy. But then if you do talk to somebody like that, they're like, oh yeah, well, that's happened to me before. So then you're. But to you, it's not about sharing all that with other people. It's like, and whatever messages you're getting, I mean, you're done. I mean, this is the last cycle. I mean, it's been a couple, like I'm saying, trips around the sun, and you've gone somewhere. For some of you, you're almost there, but you've gone many trips around here, and you think you're out of something, or you've tried to get out of something, or maybe it's a person, somebody from your past. You thought it was over, and then it's coming back, and then it's over, and you get out of it, and then it comes back, and you fall back into it, and it's like the cycle, but there's a reason. And I'm getting like, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Like, where's the peanuts? It was a painful evolution, but you've seen so much, and now you're so tuned into everything. I mean, you know how to make a person comfortable because you know what they need, like right away. You can tell, you can see what they need. I'm going to move this camera a little bit so I have more room, and I'll be right back to do the second part of your reading. Okay guys, I'm back. So yeah, I'm just looking through the cards again, like I do every time I do that. I kind of just go back and look again, and I think I'm seeing something else that's generally typical, but it kind of ties together, so this could be happening to you. Yeah. Okay. Just like any sign or any person, there's always a dark side, a shadow side. And with Cancers, here's how the situation usually goes. You have, if you have a mom that was a Cancer, or a mother with heavy placements in the chart, or you're a Cancer. Well, first let me start with the good things. Being in a relationship with a Cancer, one who's a good one, is great. They like to make people feel comfortable. They, especially a Cancer female, is really good. The problem with this mother energy is it can go one or two ways. There can be, and this comes right from, Carl Jung himself, and, he was a psychologist, so you want to think about, head shrinker, or, a mother getting in your head. What happens is there's, and see, this kind of reminds me of like a younger child, and like the birth, and there's a lot of focus on the head here. And like I said, Cancers are nurturing and caring. They're one of the most caring signs in the zodiac. Their home is everything to them. But what can happen is there can be an attachment not really a disorder. I mean, attachment disorder is a real thing, but it doesn't have to be that. And with this devil energy here, for some reason with this card, I don't like her face for some reason. She just strikes me as like a manipulator. And the peacock can sometimes represent a narcissist. But I just want to get a couple more of these cards, because I'm thinking that because, you're crabs, right? You don't, when you're younger, you don't express your emotions quite the way that you should. And then when you get older, when the time comes for you to express your emotions, you start to push people away. So if you get into a relationship, which you would be a good person to be in a relationship with, it's kind of like you get scared, and you don't want the person to see who you really, really are, so you just kind of push them away. Well, that's a lot of cards, but we'll take them, because I need a little bit of help figuring this out. Well, here's a cycle. Oh, I hope I wasn't bending over too much. Cancer's gonna get a peep show. I always see sadness with this gazelle card, crying. Reptilian brain, autopilot, but I do see that some of you have here's the moon card, and it's about springtime and the fish are running and the butterfly. It's like a metamorphosis. And I think this can be applied to the other thing I was seeing too. I mean, this could have happened, this whole thing could have happened to you if you're a Cancer. But it was kind of like two different scenarios I was seeing. The whole cycle thing, that could have happened for all of you. And for some of you that went through this cycle, has to do with a relationship and you going towards somebody that perhaps you let go. But like all these cards are like going this way. It's like I'm going to back to this person. And part of the, I mean, it's been slow, but this Unity card here is telling me that this is what you want, right? You've been thinking about it a lot. But it's, you've come out now, you've gone through this cycle. So for some of you, it was, the spiritual cycle. It could have been both. But also, as well, there were signs. You were seeing signs, like, or you were having dreams, and you just felt it, like you knew. There's kind of like a moon here, too. It's like you didn't have any interference in your sign with all the planets being completely. I mean, we're getting to the part in the cycle of the zodiac now where there's really nothing there. There's not much going on, and you'll see how the activity changes as you go around the wheel. I can tell you that if some of you wanted to check your birth chart, I keep forgetting to link it in the description, but I will do it for this one definitely, because when I do personal readings for people, I like to look at their birth chart. So I try to get as much information as I can, because your rising sign, to me, that's numero uno when it comes to reading your sign, because that's like who you are on Earth, right? And the sun is your soul, and the moon is your emotions. But there are a lot of people who don't know that we have midheaven, and so your rising sign comes up on the east. So wherever the sun was rising on the east, it's here. But your midheaven is the point that's right in the middle of the sky when you were born. That's why your time of birth is important too, and that's your universal purpose. Like if you wanted to incorporate what the universe has put you here for, or God, or whatever, however you want to call it, that's how you can see if you're on the right path, by looking at your midheaven. Mine actually happens to be Cancer. So, like for example, it says that I would be good, helping people, taking care of people. Well, that's all I've done all my life, so most of the time, up until now. But yeah, you can learn a lot from a birth chart. And for some of you, and Cancer really likes to, keep things in. And there's probably a lot of you that like hold on to stuff a lot. Just like you're kind of like hoarders a little bit. And you do hold on to stuff too much. The one problem is with your attachment thing is like sometimes when you do get into a relationship, sometimes you get scared of losing the person. That's one thing that can happen. Or you can become obsessed with people really easily, especially if you have a moon in Cancer. Like you can just become really, really obsessed with somebody and like focus on them. Not like in a crazy way, like kind of like Gemini does. You can become obsessed with them. The sign things and this whole change. Right now, right at this point, you are feeling like something different is inside of you. Like you've changed. Like you know what you want to do now. You've made up your mind. You've gone through. It could have been 10 years. It could have been since your childhood. It's just this weird not knowing what I want. Holding things in, letting things out. The one thing that you are very sensitive about is like you do not like to be judged, right? Like anybody judging you hate it. And you're really, really sensitive about that. I mean, even this guy kind of looks a little bit shy. And rejection. Being judged and being rejected is probably the worst thing that can happen to your sign. Mainly because you do know that you don't deserve it. Because you're a crab. You pull everybody in. You don't push people away. And then when somebody pushes you away, you don't understand it, and it's incredibly painful for you. The good news is that the outcome of all this, it's wonderful. All that pain and stuff, it's there. And what I usually tell people is, I mean, you get advice from all these self-help books all the time, and it's, do this and live and laugh and love and let it go and forgive and and your subconscious is never going to let that go. It's not going to let it go. You can lie to yourself till you're blue in the face. It's going to come up somehow. Especially for a water sign. It's going to come up. It'll be there whether you push it away or not. So the best thing to do is accept it into your heart that it's part of you, right? It's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. But it's made you who you are. And that's the thing that you have to remember. The sun always rises. It's your resilience. And, I mean, some people can become really bitter and scorned, but you didn't. You took all of this, and there you are, and you're just, like, sprinkling healing, all over everybody. Some of you really, like I said, you were chosen, you were gifted with abilities to heal people, and you've been seeing signs. Some of you really have. You've been hearing things or having these synchronicities, and you've changed. You've just like the moon, you've gone through this cycle, and you've had the space. Like I said, all those, Jupiter's not there, Saturn's not there, making you feel pressured to do everything right. I mean, you are learning lessons, so, I mean, don't take it as like you can just go off and do whatever you want, because they're still across from you, they're still watching you. The other thing is, with those Pentacle cards that came out, because Capricorn is across from you, and Jupiter's in their sign, like I said, I usually see like the opposite kind of thing happening. So Jupiter is typically fortune. Some of you could be be really worried about money right now, or just having a lack of resources or funds because the fortune energy is completely on the opposite side. It doesn't look like anything that you can't recoup from. It's temporary. It's just a setback. Maybe something happened that you had that unexpected bill, or who knows, with everything going on, maybe you can't work right now. I also feel like this is an opportunity to, I'm just getting the feeling that some of you have, with whatever gift that you have of this healing, you can help people right now. Even if it's just talking to them, but it's like your energy. Because here, it's like with these messages that you're getting, it's like you know that fear, like you've evolved enough spiritually now that you know what fear can actually do to your immune system. I mean, you are the caretaker, you're the nurturer, you're the healer. You know that. So you know that, like, positive energy can heal. Even if you're sending, positive energy to somewhere. That's why, I probably don't have to tell you guys this, but if anybody else is watching, say a cross watcher, or somebody else just happens to click on here, how important it is to, just keep your eyes off of the news all the time and social media. But you'll get the information when you need it here and there, but there's nothing is going to come with you scaring yourself. It's only going to tax your immune system. But this is the perfect time. Like I said, this was a cycle, and it was happening right now for you to take whatever gifts that you have. And even your voice could be a comfort to someone, or a phone call, or anything. Reaching out to anyone right now. Because you've been called. Some of you have really been called. And just pay attention. There are signs, if you look for them. And as far as this relationship goes, I don't know if there was interference from, like a mother energy or not. Like I said, with Cancer, sometimes that happens. Be a family thing. But I really feel like it was more of you had that feeling of like wanting to get close to somebody and then pushing them away because you didn't want them to really know who you were. The one other thing that is well known about Cancers is that because you have a hard time expressing your emotions outwardly, sometimes in the bedroom is where you express a lot of your emotions. There were times when you were younger that you had curiosities about things, nothing sexual at that point, but you didn't have enough self-confidence to do, maybe it was art or something. You didn't feel like you were good enough at it, but whatever happened, it manifested into like adulthood now, so you explore your creativity in the bedroom. But it's nothing bad. I mean, you have, it's good. Any way that you express your energy is good. The only thing I would do is encourage some of you to just, if you're in a relationship with somebody, the more that you talk, the better it is. And what I've learned in the past is that you can start talking to somebody and thinking that you're the only one that has this problem. And like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. And then you just like bond over your issues. It's nobody in this world has a perfect life. But you're beautiful people. You have beautiful hearts. You're beautiful souls. And you just know how to make people feel comfortable. When they're at your home, it's what you do. I'm not seeing much else out of here. I guess it wasn't too exciting for you, Cancer, but, yeah. Probably the deepest, most spiritual reading I've done yet. Which makes sense because you're the moon. So, yeah, like I said, if you have the Gemini Leo or the Cancer Leo cusp or the Gemini Cancer cusp, check out those videos if you want. I will link the astrology birth chart thing in there, I promise. Like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And the other thing is, I did get a song for you. It was going through 3 different ones, and then the first one that I thought of kept coming back, and then I think I had it in my head right in the very beginning. So I'll put the link to that video and song in your in the description too when I post your video, and I'll also put it on my Facebook page. And if I can remember, I'll put the link to that down there too. So I'll have to put on there. So, okay, I'll see you next month. Stay safe, Cancer.